Let's talk about divination. While we divine. This has been a journey for me. I know that there's simply a lot of misconception and all sorts of crazy stuff within tarot, people's understanding or misunderstandings of tarot. These cards are simply symbolic of things that are common in life. They represent new beginnings. They represent endings. They represent new journeys. Things like this. Things that we can apply to life. There's more broad concepts within it, and there's more specific concepts within it. People, people get misled when they start worshiping this or using this as like, oh gosh, this is God. Like these are stories. These are stories. We're telling stories, okay? We're telling stories. We are telling stories. We are relating stories to life. Oh snap. Oh snap. Okay. Symbolisms, stories. Sorry. Hopefully there's not going to be an issue with like the little bits on these cards. Oh shoot. Okay, we're telling stories. We're understanding stories. We're understanding symbolism. People become misled when they allow all sorts of energies and entities to fill these physical objects, okay? And when they're like worshiping. No, you are a channel. It's not this. It's not even this. That's a channel. These are simply stories and symbolisms that relate and represent things that happen in life, okay? So divining, you can divine with so many things. People divine with goat knee bones, the knee bones of goats. People divine with cards. Again. You see? She's cool. She's fire energy, queen, mastery of the will, mastery of manifestation into physical form. She's set. She's cool. She's good. Okay, like, that's the embodiment. That's the energy of. That's where I'm coming to from right now. So I love this card. These cards, I almost gave this away, which if I gave this away to the person I was gonna give it to, I would have been fulfilled, like, glad, because I looked at this and I was like immediately thought of this person, and then that didn't work out, that didn't happen. And then as I continue to just work through looking at the art, like there's so many meanings that we can take away from just these pictures. It's the same thing as like scripture, and every single freaking story in history that we have used to orate principles and narratives and understanding of life. So it's the same thing. The difference is that this is not a book. This is subject to, changing order and falling and, making a mess and jumping, like, things can jump out at you like this. What's this? Okay, 10 of coins. A completion and a fulfillment of abundance and having what you need and the joy that comes from that. Okay? Like, look, They're set. They're set. I'm telling you guys, like, this is the energy coming through. We in life experience obstacles, and this is another thing. There's this, and there's this. Hey, look at these guys. We experience obstacles. We experience, things that try to come in and, test us, distract us. Sometimes it's a distraction. Sometimes it's a legit test. Sometimes those things are one and the same. Oftentimes those are one and the same. And it's like allowing ourselves to, really, really separate ourselves from, like, the egoic, like, oh shoot, like, grasp for control, grasp for identity amongst this, like, chaos and this just drama which could be happening. Distraction, this war, this battle that's happening. It's inevitable. But look, however, this is also what's accessible. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. We just having a hello. So it's really understanding it for what it is. Okay? And that's just kind of what I want to explain right now. Is like, these are symbolisms and stories. They're not. You are the channel for divine truth to come through. Simply, people say that's witchcraft. Witchcraft is, okay. That's a whole nother discussion. I feel like this explanation has been a good explanation. Something that can be clearly conveyed or clearly received. So, yeah. Storytelling. Okay? We're storytelling. And then when you allow that story to, when you allow the openness of the story to change, that's when you receive answers. And that's symbolic of life in general. When you allow space for the story to be different than what you thought, or when you don't so rigidly construct it into one thing, yeah, gotta look at it for what it is. And again, hi dear. 1 second. I have one last thought that I'll share. Hi, do you want this? Hi. What's that? What is that? The other thing is there are many ways to use our tools. So our tools don't define us or our lives or our practices, but we do the defining. For me personally, specifically with tarot, I got to a place where I really did, in a sense, like, kind of worship it, and also, like, it wasn't, in a spiritual sense, it was worshiping because I was, like, looking to that for answers before I was even looking to myself. But now in my practice, it doesn't define me at all. It doesn't. If I just one day don't have those cards, I'm fine, because it's me that anything comes through. It's the energy, the space that I hold for those things to just come out and to just reveal themselves to me. It's simply a simple tool, but also it's relevant too. It's relevant, it relates to life, it relates to the experience, the human experience. So, the thing that people are scared of is the way that it can be accurate and energetically attuned to what is really happening in your life. That's coming through you. That's not coming through. Everything holds energy. Everything carries energy. So that's why, things can align in that way where I'm now receiving something through something else, but also it's an alignment of me and this thing and the truth of the matter. But don't let yourself be deceived. Don't let yourself be deceived. I think we see a lot of like tarot readings and stuff on YouTube, but like have we talked about it? Like, I mean, I know some people talk about it and they're like, "Oh, this is terrible. Like this is the devil. This is worshiping the devil. This is witchcraft." Like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from the lens of truth and not from the lens of religion or dogma. And yes, witchcraft can be like, we can approach that religiously. We can approach it dogmatically. We can approach Christianity, obviously, rigidly, dogmatically, and religiously. So it's these principles that we need to allow ourselves to reevaluate so that we can actually be receptive to what is true about this reality, what is true about who we are, what is true about what God means and who God means, and divine, what is the reality of divinity, and how does it intersect with who we are as humans? How is it connected? How is it connected? So that's my little take. That's my little perspective that I just want to share. Yeah. Many blessings on your journey.